When I endeavored to make this video, it probably went exactly how you would expect. I mean, it's League of Legends. But I mean, I'm sure that there's a reason that you come to expect that or have that sort of expectation in your mind already, because League of Legends' reputation precedes it by a pretty substantial amount, right? I mean, League of Legends is the only game that I can confidently say that 20 teams Call of Duty voice lobbies couldn't even hold a candle to the toxicity of. League of Legends has this just brutal, gritty design philosophy. I mean, we have hard CC prevalent, oftentimes throughout entire team comps, where in League of Legends is a game, Riot is a team that is comfortable with totally removing your agency, your ability to play the game, and it's super commonplace. And this is totally not to mention the economy system, or the CS system, I don't know, however you know the name of it, wherein a character's strength is entirely numerically measured, largely through external systems that are going on. And so your strength is not capped. Your strength is not locked behind something. If you have 1,000 more gold than your opponent, you have 1,000 more gold than your opponent, and that's the whole thing. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it kind of shocks me that League of Legends has this dramatic degree of success in China, because League of Legends is the most capitalist video game I've ever seen in my life.
I could have gone worse. I'm not too experienced with League of Legends in the modern day. I haven't played since, I think, about Mel's release, roughly. I think I stopped playing around the time that they released Mel. Or maybe her mom. What's her mom called? I stopped playing around then. But League of Legends will forever, unfortunately, will forever play a sizable role. I was hoping we could get that caster minion. I was hoping we could trigger her there.
And I'm not necessarily here to just bash that. I mean, obviously you would be a total and utter fool to say that League of Legends is anything other than a complete success. It is an international game that pulls in millions of players on a regular basis. And I mean, I can only imagine the coffers, the tightly locked bank vault of Riot is probably just utterly monstrous. But when I came to play this game earlier this week, the experience was just utterly and completely changed in a way that I did not expect at all.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I'm worried about landing against Katarina. I have a long and storied history with Katarina here. There was a time, I'm pretty sure, in the late 20-teens, so way right up against COVID, but not quite all the way into COVID, because by the time COVID had come around, I was really thoroughly, truly banning Brand every game. I'm pretty sure I banned Katarina every game for a season.
So, kind of for context, kind of get you started on what was happening. By and large, I spent my time with League of Legends playing Ryze in the mid lane. I've always had this kind of secret fixation with Ryze, and he's actually an interesting example of League of Legends' modern game design changes as of late. Ryze himself has gone through like really quite a lot of gameplay reworks as of, well, not as of late, as of his entire lifetime. There have been times when Ryze was this like area of effect oriented buff caster who could nuke people. His combos, all of his abilities are really quite individually simple, but they used to have these weird relationships that allowed him to have a great number of resets, and the tiny mechanics of those things and how they changed has been changed so many times to, honestly, we're getting to the point now where, and I feel like people don't play Ryze just because practicing him, it feels like fruitless, because what, you probably have another month until the character gets pretty deeply reworked, and everything that you've learned, your mastery system as you develop it by now, is like right next up against being completely and utterly irrelevant. But League of Legends game design here is a choice. It is an idea. It is a core value of what Riot is doing here at their studio. And Ryze is a perfect demonstration of this. Ryze's W, Rune Prison, is a form of hard point-and-click CC. I want you to think of some of your favorite games and some of your most and least favorite mechanics within those games. And if the game that came to your mind was a multiplayer game, I'm sure that you don't enjoy the sensation of an enemy gamer completely removing your ability to control the game through the keyboard. I mean, hard CC is universally loved by the caster and universally hated by the recipient, or the victim, maybe more adequately described. But League of Legends' success in the modern day has this strange change. When I was playing in the mid lane, I had something that kind of was a little bit of unsettling for me to kind of witness as I was going throughout my game in normal standard play, not in quick play, by the way, swift play, whatever it's called. I got a quest. I got a quest that would upgrade my boots. This was pretty strange. I had not expected this, and actually throughout a few more matches of me ending my 2 or 3 year hiatus with League of Legends, I came to realize that top laners have a quest that allows them to overcap their level, which allows them to get a little bit of an edge and further incentivize CSing and taking towers, etc. The typical top laner MO. And I'm sure that ADCs, bot laners have some too, but I am not even remotely close to hating myself enough to lock in ADC, so I trust you to go and find out what's going on in that sort of like bot lane quest down there, because I'm not going to do it. If everything goes correctly, I will never know. But the big change here, the big thing that kind of got me so confused and borderline off-put by seeing these quests in the game is that this is a total one. But the thing that got me confused and like really just sidling right up against off-put for this new kind of quest system that we have going on in League of Legends is that it is depersonalized. I get that quest because I locked in mid lane. I'm going to receive this objective buff to my character and like literal gold numerical value, right? I'm getting access to something that these other characters, these other laners can't get just because I clicked on mid lane. This has nothing to do with proving a matchup. This has nothing to do with a skill check. They just gave it to me. In League of Legends, the face of video game capitalism, if ever it had one, I'm being given something for free. The last time I can recall being given something for free was like Kalissa's Black Spear, and that's just because it is like utterly mandatory for the character design, and clearly the coders at Riot couldn't find another way around it outside of just giving her an item to start the game with. But this like harsh, gritty, capitalist, like opportunistic, almost carrion game design approach that has been just so deeply cemented literally since day one, right? I mean, look at Rise, right? Literally since day one, hard CC. Has been really changing as of late. I don't know when the last time you went to Topside River was, but Void Grubs. Now, Void Grubs provide this earlier in the game buff so that you can grant the ability to destroy towers more effectively to your entire team globally across the whole map. Yes, Baron buff and Dragons are global buffs, but they are unique and they are unusually important, and they have this special place in the game because of that. It is not your damage gets increased, your cooldowns get reduced. It is the fact that whatever you get applied is applied to everyone, gold included, and this is why it's so unusual, and it's becoming more and more commonplace in the modern day. I mean, even if you want to look towards it, look at the buffs, the color buffs, red buff, blue buff, they can now be shared. Actually, one of my favorite parts in playing Rise recently is meandering on over to pick up my blue buff from my jungler. We can share, we can mutually benefit. League of Legends really heavily dove into this sort of like last hitting idea wherein they saw an issue posed in team-oriented gameplay design wherein, okay, how do we decide who gets the spoils? How do we cut up the spoils of war? And they just said, screw it. They said whoever deals that final blow, the last instance of damage, gets the vast majority of the spoils, the riches, whatever you'd like to say. And yes, I understand that Riot and League of Legends are definitely no strangers to kind of shaking things up intentionally over time. I mean, the Mythic system, right? The Mythic items completely came and completely went. They did shake up the game pretty substantially for a little while there, but ultimately we reverted back to a new change, and sort of constantly changing things up and tweaking them left and right is a little bit expected, borderline mandatory for an online, I was almost going to say subscription service, but thank God League of Legends is not that. An online continued service. You have to change things up, right? If the game is really and truly the same all the time, why would we play it again? You know what I mean? I mean, what's the point of playing through League of Legends if Riven doesn't get buffed 13 times in a row again? I just don't get it. This did ultimately, at the end of the day, end up increasing my enjoyment of the game. Now, of course, there is a bias that we have to consider here. My enjoyment of the game also kind of increased when mythic items were added, and it's entirely possible that that was just happening due to things being shaken up, right? Just something new, whether the new is good or not. But this particular new that we have here, this new gameplay philosophy that ultimately ends up spreading the spoils around for the team. Very few things were for the team before, but now we have quite a few. Pretty seriously actually increased my enjoyment of the game. As you can kind of afford to focus on your team more, I find that you can spend more time, a larger sort of portion of these games, possibly because I was playing Rise, but further research is required. You can spend more time team fighting, and for me, team fighting is really where League of Legends gets interesting. I mean, yes, I understand that a lot of people love picks, and they love sort of like basically being vultures coming out of the dark and stealing a kill and leaving. getting any sort of spoiled matchup or sort of unfortunate positioning to their advantage. But now that you can afford to focus not on how one character with 4 abilities and another character with 4 abilities interact, now you have literally multiplied that up until you have a grand total of 10 characters, entities, and this is of course not counting characters with extended cast lists like Wei or Big Dog, Daisy, the summons, when you can summon things, I guess, I don't know. But at the end of the day, be sure to let me know what you think about these latest League of Legends systems. Is this just recency bias? Am I really and truly just enjoying what's going on here? Because, I don't know, I was just sick of the last time I played League of Legends, like 2 or 3 years ago or something like that. Or has this kind of mild change in philosophy really been a little bit of a trend lately? Really something that Riot is actually looking to change, and maybe even for the better. One can hope. So, of course, naturally, at the very end, this begs a question for us. With these changes that are happening, do I recommend you play League of Legends? What the fuck? Fuck no. Oh my god, what? I would never say that to you. I can't believe you would even accuse me of that. League of Legends sucks. It is the modern day I have no mouth and I must scream. It is hell on earth. Never download it. Never play it. You should never find yourself.